So I'm installing this aluminum side skirt or side diffuser on my Q. As you can see, the body panel of the Q50 is actually wider near the fenders. So it's wide here, and then as it goes towards the middle of the car, it sinks in, and then it widens back up. So if you look on the side profile, attached as is, it's sort of flush with the vehicle itself, which is what I was going for. Unfortunately, the cutouts for the jack points were a little bit too much for my taste. So if you actually dip down low enough, like where I am right now, you can actually see a gap. Now I haven't put screws onto this side skirt yet, and hopefully when I do, it'll push it a little bit up and cover some of that hole. I plan on maybe reusing this plastic trim for here to hopefully cover up the remaining gap. This gap is also evident on the back, as you can see right there. This is pretty much stuck in as far as possible, so I'm hoping this piece is able to cover that hole here. But I like it as is. This is as far out I can go with this specific side skirt. This is the first time they made a side skirt for this vehicle, so there's a lot of trial and error. But so far I'm liking it. The way I installed it was I just cleaned the bottom. I'll show you on the next side of the bottom. I just cleaned it up and put double-sided tape on it at certain sections, and that allows you to mock up the side splitter, and it will allow you to readjust it because the tackiness is not completely hardened yet, so you can still move the splitter around before you actually put in screws that will permanently hold the side skirt in place. So that's what it looks like right now. So this is the bottom of the side panel, the rocker panel. As you can see, it's fairly flat all the way to the front, which is convenient if you're installing a flat splitter. Oh, and I gotta show you how to remove that mud flap. The great thing about this mud flap is there's actually a little bit of room under here where you can tuck, so you don't actually have to remove this. So I'm just gonna wipe off this and apply some adhesion promoter, 3M adhesion promoter, to help some of the tape stick. It's not absolutely necessary. It will just allow for a better adhesion, but again, you're going to be using screws to fully tack on the splitter itself. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 under here Phillips screws that holds on the front mud flap. Now, sorry, it's not really focusing. Now, this is not a lot of room for you to put in a screwdriver. If you have a ratchet that has a Phillips attachment, then you might get enough room. But in my case, I got one of these right angle adapters with a Phillips attachment, and that's enough room to get these 2 screws off. Unfortunately, I can't show you, but essentially it's just like that, and you just take it out. And the other 2 are out of focus right here and right there. The other great thing about this adapter is it will actually allow you to get the screws to stick on the splitter itself. I am on some ramps, but it's not really necessary. I just put them on to assist me, but you don't really need them, because with this you can actually go sideways, go up like that, and you have more than enough room to get those screws up. Now, to remove this, there is some double-sided tape that runs along here. You're just gonna have to slowly remove it, which I'll show you. You just start peeling it. Don't peel too hard. It could rip the paint off. So just go slowly. Hopefully you can do this on a hot day. It's a little bit chillier today, so it's not gonna be the best On a hot day, it's much better. As you can see, it's just some double-sided tape in here. And then you just clean this area off so it doesn't look as disgusting. I would keep a hand pushing this rocker panel in, because on the other side I was actually pulling the whole time and I didn't realize this was flexing, and it's actually bent a little bit out now, like kind of like this on the other side. So just a tip is to just keep a finger here while you're pulling the mud flap off, and make sure you clean this area off as well. So I got some automotive double-sided tape cut into pieces, and I just attached it along the side rocker panel so that I can just, well, it was easier for me to just cut and put several pieces, so I'm gonna go under and then attach it. Here's a better look at the bottom of the rocker panel. As you can see, there's a divot here, so you can't really attach any double-sided tape under here. Well, I guess you can, because it's still pretty flat here, but in the front you definitely can't. It's pretty narrow, as you can see. But I'll put a piece there, two up there, a few along this flat edge, as you can see, one here. I might put another piece here since it's so flat, and as such. So just take it off and just, you know, roughly attach it to the bottom like so. And I'll do it the same way up all the way to the front. So this is the right side. No screws in yet. Just trying to see if both sides are equal. And to be honest, you're never gonna get both sides to match 100%, but it'll be close enough, and to the eye it'll look about the same. Sticks out just a tad, but otherwise it's pretty good. Looks about the same. Same amount of gap right here, as you can see. Not so bad here. So clearly there's a difference. And just about right here, there's actually a little knob, not a knob, but a groove that sticks out under here that prevents this from actually touching flat. So unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to put a screw here, but there'll be a ton of screws on this edge so that it'll reinforce the lack of screw on that side. But yeah, that's what it looks like so far. Then I'll put in the screws. This is what it looks like from the back. Gotta make sure it looks even. Looks relatively even. Might have to make some fine adjustments though. Get yourself some self-tapping screws. The ones I have are zinc plated, but since it's under the vehicle and I drive in a snowy area, it's best to get stainless steel self-tapping screws. Might be a tad more expensive, but I think it's worthwhile considering these will, even with the zinc, will most likely rust over time, and the last thing you want is this flying off while you're driving on the highway. But this is all I have right now. I'm just going to put maybe 10 on each side, if not more, just so I'm 100% sure. And I'm putting 2 there, 1 here, etc. all the way down. Total of 2, 4, 6, 8. I would see if there's any excessive flex in any of these areas. If there is, I'd put another screw. I think I'm going to put one here, but so far it looks pretty good, pretty sturdy. There'll still be some flex, as you can see, but it's strong enough.